Specifically talking of the word education, I define it, it is basically an awareness being given to the individual how they have to lead their life in a respectable way and in a successful way. Talking of the girl education, if the females are being educated in an appropriate way, they will learn to lead their life in a respectable way, and obviously they will be in a position to safeguard their rights. Well, that's a long story and a very, I must comment, I had gone throughout my life with the odds. Uh, I was the only daughter in my family, having 3 brothers. And at the very early stage, I lost my father. I was hardly 10 years old when my father expired. As a kid, I was every time my parents were saying that we want her to be a doctor, a medical doctor. Anyhow, after the death of my father, since that time, I am struggling with my life. I am struggling hard to achieve my status, and this is the reason that ultimately I ended up with my doctoral studies, because from the very beginning I was being listening that with my name my parents used to add a doctor. So this was the basic objective of my option for the doctoral studies. I wanted to honor their desire. In my educational career, I have come across with all the odds, and in male dominating society obviously there are so many hazards, but Alhamdulillah, I always prioritize my responsibilities, and being a wife, being a mother, my first and utmost priorities goes to them. When my kids were young, I used to give them the whole time, and I managed my studies according to the timings of my kids. I must share here that when I did my first masters, at that level even I just got married, and I was in a family way when I went for my first for the finals of my masters. And then later on in year, after 2-3 years, again I continued with my another masters, and then I had another son. I fulfilled my all responsibilities as a mother, as a housewife, and it was a desire in me to learn more, to acquire knowledge. So for that reason, in the nights I used to study, because I have to cook the food, I have to wash the clothing and do all the household jobs which an ordinary female is supposed to do. I have been doing that. Along with all these responsibilities, commitments, and here I would like to mention one thing more, that to continue with my education, obviously we need finances. For that reason, I have been involved in part-time jobs as well, and I managed all the finances for my own studies, for my doctoral studies, everything, along with the basic responsibilities. And now when the girls or the females, if they share these things that we want to do something, but due to certain reasons we cannot, over there I always comment, please don't say this thing to me. If there is a will, there is a desire, you can make up your way. And when I started up my doctoral studies, after qualifying my coursework, ultimately my husband, he decided to go for his doctoral studies, and for that reason he has to go abroad, leaving on the responsibilities upon me with 2 kids. And my eldest son, at that time he was in O levels. What I did at that time, I just simply pack up my books and stored them in the cupboard, and I focus upon his studies. Alhamdulillah, he with the flying colors. He qualified O levels and then A levels, and when he got admission for his BBAs in NUST, after 2 years again I took off my cartons of books and materials, and I started up with my research work for doctoral studies, and I completed it within the due prescribed time. Yes, that's a wonderful question. Uh, in the context of female working group, we are having threats of incompetencies of the male colleagues, because by nature phenomenally males are dominant, they are superiors. We accept this thing because this is the phenomenon of the nature. But in the working environment, in the male dominating society, they never ever accept the competency of the female colleagues. They presume that they are the threat to them, and it's my opinion, if they take them as supportive colleagues along with the potentials of the female group, male can bring up more tangible results. Instead of this, that they are just in the controversy of the female working group, and just to confirm that they are not competent enough, they are indulge in dirty politics. I am sorry to say this word, but they are into the politics. Rather, they should support the female working colleagues with their potentials. We can produce better results, and if we look upon in our administrative post, mostly we are having male superiors, male executive are working in there. In such an environment, it becomes a very threatening and challenging for a female who is competent enough to learn. Well, I do believe that female workers, they are not up to the mark, specifically talking in the education sector, because in the teaching in the teaching area, teachers are not well versed with the official correspondence pattern, with the financial management in the institutions. So usually they are dependent upon the male colleagues. Males should come step ahead. They should extend their cooperation and support them and guide them. The females, they do have all the potentials. The only thing is which is needed is the guidance, and with the cooperation and collaboration. Well, there is a gender discrimination in the for the girls in educational system. First and foremost thing, all the executives in the education department, they are the males. How can you expect that they should be promoting something against the nature? Well, that's a question. Moreover, the female workers, they are more dedicated, they are focused towards their tasks, they are very much clear in their objectives, and they worked to achieve those objectives. Whereas the male officers or the male working group, normally they just want to go through with an easy way. They just want to just fill up the things within the file works, and no tangible results should be are being produced by their working. We need a support from the system to promote more and more female executives, because by virtue of female gender, God the creator, he has been given he accorded managerial skills to the females. They have more tolerance, they have more bearance, they are their critical analysis is more strong than the male. And for the management side, we need managers who are skilled in the technical skills, human skills and conceptual skills. And I believe if opportunity is being provided to the females to work at the managerial level, they can bring better results. Every time we have been through with it. There are, every time there is a challenge, all the male colleagues, they are after us, they are looking for our weaknesses. And if we are human beings, obviously we can take a wrong decision. If ever we did such thing, there is such a hue and cry, and if they did the same thing, all the male members, they join hand together, irrespective of their differences, they are all together. And for the female, they are non cooperative. I'll comment that not specifically in our society, rather in the whole globe, female education is being should be more prioritized than the male. Reason: if a mother is is educated, she is well aware, she is going to produce a better children, better nation, because today those who are the today's child is a future generation. They will be going to lead the nation, and a female an educated mother, she will obviously produce a better nation. Specifically talking of Pakistani culture, as with all our shortfalls, we need to focus more and more on the female education. If we are going to strengthen our females, if we are going to give them better educational opportunities, along with the educational opportunities, we must promote better job opportunities to the females. Obviously, a change will come up, a cultural change will be there, and we will definitely excel as a nation. Well, over here I would like to share that my doctorate is in human resource development. And when I was searching for the material, I was researching on this concept, that how we can develop these human resources, because basically there are three levels of the humans. One is the human raw, then resource, and then the human capital. We are having human raws, we are not developing them in as a resource. If we will be having an educated mother, obviously that mother is going to develop that raw material into a resource material, and then into the you can say into the line of education, that resource can one day become a capital, human capital, the intelligentsia, who can really bring radical changes into the society. So behind all these human resource development, an educated mother must be there.